everyone, it's your girl Brain Shanae. Today I'm going to be doing a book review for Forged by Blood, and this is by Ehigbor Okosun. And I wanted to do a book review for this particular book because I don't see or hear people talking about this book at all. And I'm like, okay, I gotta do a book review because this book is really, really good. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars and I really enjoyed the pacing. I love the world building. And just to give you an idea, this book is similar, it has similarities to Children of Blood and Bone by Temi Adeyemi and The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. And I enjoyed this book so much, which is why I'm like, why I don't hear anybody talking about it. It's so good. I hear people talking about how gorgeous this edition is, which I love that the author was able to get a special edition. I love that for her. I'm just happy, just because a lot of times a lot of books don't get special editions, so I'm really happy that she had the opportunity to have this beautiful FairyLoot edition of her book. And so, like I said, I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars, where we're introduced to a girl named Demi, and she is an Eluso. Within this particular book, in this particular world, the Eluso are hunted. And they're hunted, they're hunted, killed, sometimes they're used for particular things. And that's why it reminded me of Children of Blood and Bone and The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. And we're in this world where it's the kingdom of Ife. And she lives with her mother. She's very young, and she is an Eluso, and her mother tries to help her. You know, her mother is a healer, so a lot of people know that she's an Eluso, and they stay away from her and her mother. But one night, there comes this boy named Jonas who comes, and he's injured. He's hurt really badly, and so his mother does heal him. And and with Jonas and Demi, they have this weird connection with one another. It's really hard to like pinpoint. It just seems like they knew each other from the moment they met each other on that very first time. And he was injured, and next thing you know, a woman comes in, Mary, and Demi ends up losing her mother, and she runs away, and she tries to hone in her power and to control her power. And within these, and this is when a time span, because she loses her mother, based off of her mother being an Eluso, and that's when Demi runs away from her village, from her home, and she only thinks of the one person that caused the issue of, and the reason why her mother was died was because of Jonas, the boy that was injured, who apparently had other things that other motives. And then you had Mary, who was the one that physically had killed Demi's mother. So she was on this mission for years to train herself and to make her, hone into her powers, but also to control her powers at the same time. So we have that, and when she does that, she meets a boy named Colin, who has a thing for her, but she don't really have a thing for him. And at this one point in time, we come with Ekwesi, who talks to Demi and Colin and say like, hey, if you help me capture the prince, of the kingdom of Ife, maybe I'm able to be part of the court or whatever, to let them know and about the Eluso, and to let them stop hunting the Eluso or whatever. And so they're like, okay, we'll do this. Like, she's like, okay, I might be able to see Mary too, so I can get my vengeance, on the person that killed my mother. And so she ends up finding out, and she meets Jonas again after years, and she finds out that he is the prince. So she's already pissed about that. She's pissed on, like, he was one of the reasons why her mother is gone, and pissed at the fact that he was just lying to her in her face blatantly about himself. And like the first time they met, he was very secretive and yada yada yada. But they still have this weird connection. And so within this particular book with the Eluso, they are able to they have mates or whatever. And she knew, and I think he knew, that they were actually meant to be together. Even though Colin has some feelings for Demi, but they don't have that bond that Demi and Jonas have for each other. But Colin tries to remind Demi, like, hey, this dude has deceived you, has been constantly deceiving you, you shouldn't trust him. But she's giving Jonas another chance to prove himself, even though he's been very deceitful. And so they seem to work together. They team up. And next thing you know, they were able to find a way where Jonas ends up can become the king and to right the wrongs of what his his ancestors, his people have done. But then again, we that's another thing. When I say they're mates, the reason why they're mated for each other, like they knew they had a thing for each other, is because Jonas is also an Eluso, and he is an iron blood, and the iron blood is very rare. And from what I understand, iron blood is what Demi's father was. He's an iron blood, which she makes sure she doesn't talk about her father because of all the wrongs and the bad things he had done in his past, which is why her mother made sure that she was nowhere near her father or whatever. So you have that as well. So there's a lot of elements within this book. I'm trying not to give a lot away in this book because I really just want you to pick it up and find out for yourself on this great adventure that it takes you on. And even on how impactful it can be. Like, yes, this is a fantasy adult fantasy book, but it has a lot of things that can be really relatable in today's society, especially with the speech that was made within this book. Let me find the page itself. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Okay, so let me see. All right, okay, so I'm just going to read this. This is like a long paragraph, but I'm going to read it. It says, I told you the truth that day, Demi, because you deserved it. I asked what you were willing to do to break our people's chains, and you've shown me. He nods at Jonas and Colin. You also have noble hearts. They will serve well in the world we're going to create. He holds a fist up, the air surrounding it crackling with energy, white sparks crackling at his fingers. As he opens his palm, lightning breaks through the clouds, striking an edge of the wall, separating the audience from the pit of the arena, and it crumbles, people screaming and scrambling to get away as rocks go flying. The guards in the arena back away, running for the iron gates. There's no mistaking it. Quincy's magic is alive and well after all. Lightning strikes again, tearing down another part of the wall as Quincy steps onto the platform, railing, his voice thundering through the night air. Brothers and sisters, do not stand idle. Your chains are broken. You are free. Look at how those who would destroy you now flee. This is the truth you must face. You were given power by the Father of skies and spirits to help your brethren, to build a new world together. Those who feared your power lost theirs because their evil hearts came after your own. They killed your ancestors and still you refused to fight. They bound you in chains and still you refused to fight. Will you let them paint the streets with your blood and offer your children as sacrifices for sport? Will you refuse to fight when the truth asks that you fight? The newly freed Eluso draw closer in, like flowers straining to reach the sun. A woman shouts from their midst, deep voice bellying her slim frame. What would you have us do? We can't fight back. If we kill those who imprison us, we reap the seeds of madness and destruction. Quincy shows off his withered hand, his Eluso mark burning through it. I believe that once. I believe that if we became the very weapons these people made us out to be, then we deserve the judgment of having our magic stolen from us. Then I learned the truth. He pulls back his sleeve, revealing cuts all the way down his arm. I have killed men for their crimes. I raised my sword in war. I even committed murder on behalf of this fool you call king. Yet I stand before you with power granted to me by the spirits. And so it was revealed to me. If you fight in the name of justice, if you lift your swords in the service of truth, the spirits will hear you. Your magic will not leave you. Fear not. Raise your voices, lift your hands, and take the freedom that has been denied you. And then it goes on saying, whether it's the quality of his words or the compulsion of Quincy's power, it is not long before the Eluso decide. The slim woman is the first to move. She presses her hands against the rubble of the damaged wall, and purple flames consume the stones. The arena walls crumble like sand castles in the grasping finger of the sea. And so with this particular where I'm getting to with this particular passage is that eventually you have to stand up for yourself. And I'm not saying you have to go do some terrible things, but don't let people take advantage of you. Don't let people, just because they fear you, just because you're different, doesn't mean they should treat you this way. They shouldn't treat you poorly. And I feel like with this passage, it relates to today and a lot of troubles that are happening with people that with racism and stuff like that. So I just felt like that was very empowering, even though Quincy had some other things in mind that I didn't really agree with. But just with that speech of having the power and using your voice, I felt that to be quite powerful. And so let me see. I want to see if I could, there was another passage where it just says, raise your voices, lift your hands, and take the freedom that has been denied you. I really like that a lot. But within this book, there's so much things that I love. There, like, it talks about the spirits, which we are introduced Mami Wata, the Orisha, which I do love so much. I love the essence of this book. I love what it gives out about empowerment. It has a lot of things that talk about within the Black community about colorism still, and how Demi at times she felt like she wasn't beautiful because her skin was darker than her other peers, and I like it that it brings up these concepts and these things that we need to discuss within the community ourselves, and how colorism is still alive and well, and how we need to attack this issue and have people realize that they are beautiful the way they are. The complexion, their skin tone, their eyes, they are beautiful the way they are, and they do not need to alter or change anything about themselves because they are beautiful, not only on the outside, but in the inside as well. And so like I said, it has a lot of themes within this particular book, and I think a lot of people will really enjoy this book as well. And like, let me just even read the synopsis for you. Maybe that will even get you going. So it says, Demi only wanted to survive, to avoid the suspicion of the tyrannical Ajes occupying her homeland, to escape the king's brutal genocide of her people, the Aluso, and to live peacefully with her secretive mother while learning to control the blood magic that is her birthright. But survival has given way to vengeance. A betrayal has cost her mother's life, and Demi demands payment. She bides her time until the devious Lord Quincy grants her the perfect opportunity, kidnap the Ajayi prince, and bargain to save the remaining Aluso. She sets out on her hunt with her childhood friend Colin in tow, but the way ahead proves far more dangerous than either of them could have imagined. For she and the prince share more than deadly secrets, and every moment will tangle them further into a forbidden, unmistakable attraction. If she is to claim justice for her mother and her people, Demi will not be able to trust anyone or anything. Not Colin, not her fledgling magic, not even her own heart. Now, with that being said, like, with the romance between Jonas and Demi, I don't know if I like it. Because he is so deceitful, and the fact that they bestow, she decides to have Jonas as the king in order to right the wrongs, and to free the Aluso, and to let them to live peacefully and stuff without being worried about being killed or being hunted. I just feel like something's going on. I don't know if I fully trust Jonas, because he's been so deceitful, and just his betrayal, he's just a traitor. Like, I don't know if I can trust him, but she feels like she can. And even Colin, her best friend she grew up with, he even says that, mark my words, I don't know if he really can trust Jonas. He hasn't really been very trustworthy this entire time, but she still gives Jonas the, I don't know, like, she still feels like she still has, even though he did a lot of things, a lot of deceitful things, she gives him the benefit of the doubt. And I don't know if I can do that. After you fooled me once, you fooled me twice. Okay, but third time, I'm like, wait, what? So I don't know. So there's going to be another book. I believe this is a duology, I believe. I could be mistaken. Let me see. It says, A Tale of Rebellion and Redemption, Love and Lies, Forged by Blood is epic fantasy at its finest, richly steeped in Nigerian mythology. I think it is a duology. I could be mistaken. But I'm here for it. Just how it ended, I want to know what happens. I want to know if Jonas is actually going to still be the good guy, or if he's going to betray Demi and break her heart again. Like, I want to know. Like, I don't really like Jonas. I like Colin better. He's loyal. He's proven to Demi that he's been there for her. He constantly has been there for her. He's been by her side this entire time. He's never faltered. And Jonas is constantly like just a disappointment. So I'm excited to see what happens in the next book. But I really want you all to pick it up. I really all want you to embrace this world, embrace Demi, embrace her magic and what she has in store. And like I said, there's Arisha in this book as well, you know? So I definitely feel like y'all should pick it up. And it's just a great read and it's a fun time. And I think you all would really enjoy this. But I'm not going to get into it anymore. I really hope that you take this review in and that you pick up the book, or if you listen to the audio, because it's really good. And I'm really looking forward to the second book, because I gotta know what happens next. I gotta see if Jonas is going to actually do the right thing, or if he's going to do some other crazy nonsense that I'm already over Jonas, and it's not even the second book yet, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be like Demi and give him the benefit of the doubt, but we shall see. He has to prove himself to me. But I really hope you enjoyed this book review. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified when I upload more videos in the future. But thank you all for watching, and hope you are staying healthy and staying safe. See ya.